Good day, everyone. Welcome to our discussion of the topic parabola. Before we move forward, let me introduce to you briefly myself. I am Engineer Handel de la Serna Magnano. I'm one of the professors handling this course Math 000P. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Anthony Murphy for allowing us to use his lecture materials in our recording today. So our objectives for this lecture are the following. At the end of this presentation, students should be able to derive equations of parabola in general and standard forms given certain conditions. The other objective is to sketch the graph of the equation of a parabola showing its vertex, latus rectum, and directrix. And to recall what we had discussed briefly about conic sections, specifically parabola. So the parabola, the conic section parabola is obtained by cutting one knot of the double knot cone as shown in this illustration or from this picture here. So we cut in such a way that the plane is the cutting of this one knot of the cones is parallel to this side here. Okay, or in this case, this one. And this is the result. This is what we can see. This is the conic section that we can create by cutting in this orientation of this plane. So this is what we call the parabola. Okay, in this lecture class, I'll give you the details of how to find the standard form and the general form of a parabola. So please focus your attention, have your eyes fixed on the screen. So this is the principle about parabola. A parabola is defined to be set of points the same distance from a point and a line. So we're talking about same distance from a point. So which point is that? Where is that point? So I will show you that later. So a point and a line. So the point referred by this statement class is this point, and the line referred to the statement is this line. Okay? So the distance from a point, so this is our parabola. Okay? So we have here a point. So the distance of this point from the point mentioned here, this point, and the distance of the same point, this distance of the same point, I'm referring to this point, to this line is the same. So this distance and this distance is the same. So this distance from a point and this distance from a line are equal to each other. Okay? If you take this point, also in a parabola, and if you drop a line from this point perpendicular to the line, okay, perpendicular, so 90 degrees yan, this is also 90 degrees. So this distance here, if you call this distance as D, this is also D. So any of this point class, if you find the distance from this point to this point and drop a line perpendicular to this line, the blue line, so this distance, if you call that distance as d, this is also equal to d, and so on and so forth. Or if you take this point, so when you measure this distance, you call this distance as d, this is also the same distance as this. This is also equal to d. So that is the concept of parabola class. Or if you take this distance, this is equal to this distance. If you take this distance, you measure that one, that is the same distance. If we can make this class, so the point, when you connect the points class, you will create this graph, which is a parabola. Okay, so the concept here is, if we call this distance as d1, call this distance as d2, then the concept here is distance 1 equal to distance 2. That is the concept of parabola. And we will derive equations, the standard form and the general form of the equation of a parabola using this concept. Okay? So I will make the derivation class before we go forward. Let us know what are these terms that we are talking about. So the line that I have mentioned a while ago, this line, the blue colored line, this is what we call directrix. And the point that we talked about a while ago, that is what we call the focus. Okay? So the line perpendicular to the directrix, so referring to this line, the blue line, perpendicular meaning it makes 90 degrees with the directrix. Okay, that's 90 degrees. It's also 90 degrees here. So this is perpendicular. This line is called the axis of symmetry. Okay, so the line perpendicular to the directrix passing through the focus, okay, this is the focus, is the axis of symmetry. The vertex is the point of intersection of the axis of symmetry with the parabola. So this point here is on the parabola and intersect with this axis of symmetry. So this point here is called the vertex. This point is called vertex. Okay? So that point there is called vertex. As described earlier, this distance from the focus, or the distance of this point from the focus, okay, so this distance, we call this distance as d1, and the distance from this point to the directrix, which is perpendicular to, okay, this line, we drop a line from this point perpendicular to the directrix, and let's call this distance as d2. Again, as mentioned earlier, d1 is equal to d2. So the definition of the parabola is the set of points the same distance from the focus and directrix. So therefore, d1 is equal to d2 for any point coordinates x, y on the parabola. So it means that if I consider this point, or this point, so if I measure this distance from this point to the focus, and the distance of that point to the directrix, so this is also equal to each other. So d1 is equal to d2. So we'll make use of this concept to derive the formula. So this is the derivation class. Okay, I will let So this is the focus. Okay, this is the focus. And this is the vertex. So the vertex has the coordinates h, k. So assuming this is our y-axis, this is our x-axis, the intersection between these two axes is called the origin. Okay, so the vertex here, v, the coordinates of this vertex is h and k. So h is the distance from the y-axis towards the point. This is our h. And k is the distance from the x-axis towards that point. So this is k. Alright, and if we let the distance between the vertex and the focus as p, so let's consider this distance as p. Okay, then the coordinates of this p, the coordinates of the focus f is, if you look at this point class, this is on the same line as the vertex. So it means that the abscissa of this point is the same as the vertex, which is also equal to h. So this is also equal to h, as you can see here. So this is h. But the ordinate now, meaning the value, the y, the vertical value of it from the x-axis. So from here, from the x-axis towards that point. So this is the same as, this is just the sum of this. We have p and we have k. So that's why we have k plus p. This is just the sum of this. So this is just the sum of p and k. So we have p plus k or k plus p. So they're just the same. So k plus p. Okay? Now if I'm going to consider a point, say a point is here, if I consider a point is here, and then the distance of this point, so assuming this point is on the parabola, and call this distance as d1, and if I drop a line perpendicular to the directrix, so from the definition, so this is the distance from the point to the directrix and the distance of the point to the focus. Okay, from the principle we have d1 equal to d2. Alright, so what is this point? If we call this point as point P, let the coordinate of this point as x and y. And what is this x? X is the distance from the y-axis towards the point. So this is our x. And y is the distance from the x-axis towards that same point. Okay, I'll prolong this. So this is the y. Distance from the x-axis towards this point, that is equal to y. Okay? Now, from this illustration, if you look at this clearly, if you see it, if you can see it, the distance from the vertex to the focus is the same as the distance from the vertex to the directrix. So it means that this is also equal to p. This distance is also equal to p. Okay? So if this is P, why is it equal to P? So imagine, class, that this point is here. If you consider that this point is here, so we have this distance equal to this distance. Okay? But if you bring this point here, this distance is equal to this distance also. Alright? So we can say that this distance, if this is P, now if this is P, so therefore, what is this? What is this distance? So look at this, class. This is K, right? This is K. And this is P. This is P. Okay? So if this is K and this is P, so to solve this distance, so let us have a question mark here. So let us know, let's find out what is this distance. So this distance is simply P minus K. Alright? This is just P minus K. So D1 is equal to D2, where D2 is equal to Y plus this distance, which is the question mark, which is equal to P minus K. So that's why here in the formula we have the distance here is, this is D1, and if we draw a line parallel to x-axis passing to the focus, and if we draw a line from P down there to the directrix, perpendicular to the directrix, so we've noticed here, class, that we form a right triangle. Okay, so we form right triangle. So if this is a right triangle, then we can use the concept of Pythagorean theorem. So to solve for D1, okay, let us solve for this length. What is this length of the triangle? What is the side of the triangle? Alright, so look at this, class. This distance from the y-axis, this is just the same as x, diba? This is just the same as x. And the distance from this point, if you draw a line, you prolong this line, so this is h, right? This is h. So to solve for this distance, class, this is the side also of this triangle. They are just the same. So to solve this distance, we just subtract this x by h. So this is x minus h. So this side of the triangle here is x minus h. Okay? Then what is this distance? Or what is this side of the triangle? This one. So let us solve this side. How much is this? So we know that this is y. Okay, from the x-axis towards that point, that is y. Okay, now the distance from the x-axis towards the focus, from the x-axis to the focus, is k plus p. Okay, so k plus p, therefore, meaning this one, k plus p. So therefore, this side here of the triangle, simply y minus this. So we have y minus k plus p. Okay, so this is the distance of this. So by Pythagorean theorem, we have the distance, the diagonal D1. So the diagonal D1 is just the square root of Pythagorean theorem, the square of the side, okay, which is x minus h square, then plus the square of the side, which is y minus k plus p. So y minus quantity k plus p, and the whole thing here is squared. So that is d1. This is just for d1, equal to, what is our d2? Our d2 is just the sum of y, because we are talking about this distance d2. Okay, this is our d2. So what is distance? This is y, okay, up to here, then plus the question mark, where the question mark is p minus k. Alright, so this is y plus p minus k. Alright, and we can rewrite this in similar way as this one on the left side. So the expression y plus p minus k can also be written as y minus k, then minus k minus p. Okay, they're just the same. So if you distribute this, so negative k, so which is this one, negative times negative, positive p, so this one. So they're just the same. So we can change this to, y minus k plus p. Okay, so this is what you can see here. Y minus k, sorry, this is minus. Okay, this is what you can see here. Alright, so from here we can expand. We can do the expansion. I opt to derive the formula class using another d1 and d2 on the right side, because if you do it here on the left side, it's a little bit confusing. So better to focus. They're just the same, class. They're just the same. But here, it needs a deep understanding of how this formula is derived if you take these distances here, d1 and d2. But if you do it on the right side, it's better to understand. So after we obtain the expression, this one. So again, that is taken from this concept, d1 equal to d2. And the derivation of this is the one that I have shown you in the previous slides. So from here, if we are going to square both sides, squaring both sides, so what will happen? So this is what will happen, class. Squaring both sides, so the radical here, which is the exponent 1/2, so meaning the index here, which is equal to 2, and we have the exponent here, or the power, equal to 2, so that cancels out. Then the right side becomes like this. Okay, then the equation becomes this one. So we have removed the radical symbol, and the expression becomes like this. Okay, and then expand. So when you expand this, algebra, you just use the basic concept, class. We have u minus v squared. This is the same as u squared minus, it is minus, so this minus twice the product of the first and second term, u first term, v second term, then plus the square of the second term. So you can use this. So for this part, there's no problem. The other part, actually, it's not also a problem. You can just treat this as, u, and this is your v. So this is still in the form of u minus v. Alright? So same process, you just expand. Okay, so when you expand, so we get this. We just retain this first term. We just expand the second term here. So following this, u minus b, this is our, if you consider this part as our u, okay, this is, sorry, this is our v, and this is our u. So we have u squared, okay, we square the first term, minus twice the product of the first and second term, okay, then plus square of the second term. So this is the one. And on the right side, so on the right side, when you square this one, so ganun din. Square the first term, twice the product of the first second term, we got this, then square of the second term. So as you can see, we have a term on the left side, y squared. We also have y squared, so we can eliminate this one. And then when you distribute this and expand this one, and you have something to get rid on both sides. So this is what happens, class. So we have we get rid of y squared. Okay, so we have x minus h squared. What is left is this one here, then plus this one, and then when you expand, so expand this or distribute, so we distribute the 2y, okay, distribute it here, so we get this, okay, and then this one also, then you expand this one. So again, using this formula, so square of the first term, this is the first term, you square that one, plus this is plus, so this is also plus twice the product of the first second term, and then square of the second term, this one. And do the same the other side, right side, you distribute this and multiply. Okay, so we have this one, product of these two, then product minus minus, so this becomes plus. Alright, then expand this one using again this formula, square the first term, this is minus, so minus also twice the product of the first second term, then plus square of the second term. Okay, so the left side has this term, negative 2yk, we have negative 2yk, negative 2yp, we have positive, so we cannot cancel that one, you can combine that later. Okay, so the expression becomes like this, so we have 2yp, 2kp, and we have p squared, we have p squared on the left side, we have p squared on the right side, so we can eliminate them. Alright, so what is left here is x minus h squared minus 2yp plus 2kp. So if we are going to transpose, combine, we can combine similar terms. So combining similar terms, putting only left on the left side x minus h squared, the rest we transpose that to the other side. So move this to other side, so this becomes plus. Move this to other side, this becomes minus. As you can see here, this is the original one. Okay, so when you move this to yp, this becomes positive 2yp. When you move this to kp, this is positive, so this becomes negative. Okay, and then combine them. So when you combine them, we have 2yp plus 2yp, that is 4yp. Okay, so we combine this and this one, and then we combine this 2, negative 2 kp, negative 2 kp, so this is 4 kp negative. And then after that, you factor common. The common here is we have 4p. Okay, 4p, so factoring out, so we got this. So we have x minus h, quantity x minus h squared equal to 4 times p times y minus k. So this is now the equation, or the standard formed equation of the parabola with the vertex at hk. Okay, So the equation of the parabola with vertex at each k, focus at, remember the coordinates class, the focus is at h and k plus p, and directrix equal to y, directrix y equal to k minus p is given by this. So remember this formula, class. If you cannot derive it, memorize it. If p is greater than 0, so we have a term here, or a factor here, which is p. If p is greater than 0, the parabola opens upward. So this is the the factor, class, that you need to see. If this is greater than 0, what is that? What does it mean? Greater than 0 means positive values. If p is positive, so if this is positive, of course 4 is positive, so positive times positive, this coefficient, class, of this quantity should be positive. So if that happens, then the parabola opens upward. Otherwise, it opens downward. If p is less than 0, negative. Okay? Less than 0 means negative. So for example, if this is negative 1, so negative 1 times positive 4, so that becomes negative. So that makes the parabola opens downward. Okay, so this is a very important thing to remember, class. To easily remember this, so look at the term that is being squared. So in this case, if you are going to expand this one, we will get the general form. So in general form, the term here that will be squared will be the x. Okay? Meaning the degree of x is 2 and the degree of y is 1. So if that happens, class, that the degree of x is 2 and the degree of y is 1, then our parabola, it's either opens upward or downward. Okay? And then you just find out what is the value of p, positive or negative, and that will give you the hint of the exact opening of the parabola, up or downward. Alright, so that's one thing that you need to remember. Then the equation of the parabola with vertex at hk, focus at, so you see here, focus at h plus p, then k, and directrix x equal to h minus p is this one. So we will not derive that anymore, class. We just look at the logic of how this being derived. We can derive also this, but to save time, we'll just get the logic, class, of how this formula is derived, and we can just take this form. So this time we have the y. When you expand this one, y is being squared, so the degree of y here is 2 and the degree of x here is 1. Okay, so if this is the case, class, then the parabola will opens either right or left. So remember, if y is being squared, when you expand this one, y is being squared, and then the parabola is 2, so the parabola is either opens right or left. So depends on, again, the value of p. If p is positive or greater than 0, then the parabola opens right. Otherwise, if p is negative, then the parabola opens to the left. Okay, so I hope you get the basic concept, class, of this discussion. And remember, so two things to remember. This formula, you need to remember this, class. If you cannot derive it, then memorize it. And of course, you have to understand. So these two formulas are very helpful in solving problems in the topic parabola. Now, if we perform the indicated, if we perform the indicated squares, so we have here the indicated squares. Okay, so if we perform the indicated squares and transpose the terms on the right side, then we obtain the general forms. So what does it mean? So it means, class, that we have two formulas, right? We have this one and this one. Okay, so if we do this operation, class, this is u squared minus 2uv plus b squared. If you do this one, expand, meaning if you expand this is a binomial, so when we expand this one, so this will be x squared minus 2 times xh, then plus h squared, then equal to, this will be like that. So you have 4py minus 4kp. Alright, and make the right side equal to 0. Put everything to the left side, and then we will have this form, class. And this is the general form of the equation. So the opening of this parabola is either up or right. So remember, if the term that contains x has the power 2, so the opening here is up or down, depends on the value of p. Okay, depends on the value of p. If you expand this one, so this will be y squared, okay, y squared minus 2yk, then plus k squared, then equal to 4px, then minus 4ph. And similar way, transpose everything to the left side and make the right side equal to 0, then you will get this form. So the term here that is being squared is y, so it means that the parabola opens either left or right, so depends on the value of p, positive or negative. Okay, so remember that in this equation, class, this is the general form of the equation of a parabola. So remember that a must not be equal to 0. Otherwise, if a is equal to 0, what will happen? The first term here becomes 0, and our equation becomes a line. You see, if mas 0 ito, is also 0, so the equation becomes a line. It's no longer a parabola. Okay, then next, let us be familiarized with the terms, very important terms in parabola. So we have what we call latus rectum. So apart from the term vertex, focus, axis of symmetry, we have directrix, we have another terms that we need to remember, class, and understand. First, we have the latus rectum. So what is latus rectum? Latus rectum is the line segment passing through the focus. So this is the focus, okay? Passing through the focus, perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. So this is the axis of symmetry. So perpendicular to it, so it means this line. Okay? Perpendicular to the axis of symmetry with endpoints on the parabola. So it will end here. It will end here. So normally we are asked to find the coordinates of this point and also the coordinates of this point. Okay? So that is what we call latus rectum. So remember that latus rectum is the line perpendicular to the axis of symmetry passing through the focus. Okay, so we need to indicate what are the coordinates of this point and also this point. So if we find the coordinates of the latus rectum, this is what we can see, class. First, remember that we have this expression, class. No? To find the coordinates of the latus rectum, we have to substitute y equal to k plus p. So we have to substitute this expression, class, that y equal to k plus p. So remember, this is our This is k, this distance. If this is the directrix, okay, if this is the directrix, if this is the x-axis, assuming this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. Okay, so this is our k, this is p, right? This is p, this is also p. Here, this is also p. So as you have noticed here, the coordinates of the focus. So this is x, sorry, h. This is h. This is also h. Yeah? From here to there, this is also h. Okay. So from here, from the origin to that is k, and this is p. So it means that this distance is, we have k up to this point here. This is k, and this is p. Okay, so just add the two. So summing up, so we have k plus p. So this is the one. So this is the y. So we change y to k plus p because as you know, points normally, the coordinates is x and y. So we change x to h and we change y to k plus p. Alright, so k plus p. Okay, so we have to substitute this into this standard form because it opens upward, so we have to substitute it in this form. Alright, so substituting it here, what will happen is this one. So from the standard form, x, quantity x minus h squared equal to 4 times p squared. So y p squared? Y p squared, class? So we have 4p. Okay, 4p times y minus k. So our y here, this is our y. So y is equal to, so what is, we have here the expression, ang y natin dito is k plus p. So we have y minus k. So our y is k plus p. So y is k plus p. Then minus k. Okay? So k and minus k cancel. So this becomes p. So the whole thing here becomes p. Alright? So this becomes p. So this is just equal to p. Alright? So y minus k. This one. So from this, our y is equal to this one. Okay? Y equal to k plus p, solving for, or substituting this to this, which is y minus k. So y is k plus p. So k and negative k cancel, so remain is p. What remains is p. So substitute here. Y minus k is just y minus k. This is coming from here. So this is just equal to p. So that's why when you substitute here, so this becomes 4p squared. Then when you take square root on both sides, so take square root on both sides. Okay, taking square root here, index of radical here, which is 2, then the power exponent is equal to 2. When you take the square root here, so remember when you take square root, we have two values on the right side. Okay, so the values here will be plus and minus. That's why we have here x minus h on the left side equal to plus and minus. Square root of 4 is 2. square root of p squared is p. So we have here x minus h equal to plus or minus 2p. So solving for x, transpose this to other side. So we have x equal to, this becomes positive, then plus minus 2p. Okay, this is the value for x. So what does it mean? So that means that the coordinates of this point, okay, the coordinates of this point is simply h. So we know that this is h, and this is 2p, negative 2p. So we just substitute it here. Then this is the abscissa class, abscissa of this. So we know h is positive, then 2p. We have plus and minus 2p here. So in other words, we have x equal to h plus 2p, and the other x is equal to h minus 2p. So this part here, h minus 2p, this is on the left side. Okay? And again, it will remain the same as k plus h, the ordinate. That remains k plus h. On the right side, the point on the right side, that is where you use this x equal to x plus h plus 2p. So this one here. Okay? And the ordinate same as this one because they are on the same line. Okay, so that's how to find the coordinates of the latus rectum. You just change the value of y based on our illustration here. Okay, we just make use of this, or just remember this formula, class, that y minus k is equal to p. Alright, so that's the solution for, or in finding the coordinates of the latus rectum. So this implies that the length of the latus rectum is equal to 4p. You understand that? So equal to 4p, the length of the latus rectum. Any question? Okay, so I hope you understand our discussion, class. So one thing you need to remember, please take a screenshot of this slide before I erase them. Okay, so erasing them. So it says, class, that the solution that I have shown you implies that the result implies that the length of the latus rectum, meaning this one, class, is the latus rectum. The length of the latus rectum, you can call this as LR. This is just equal to 4p. 4p. Okay? Any question? You can check that one, class. So this length, this is from here, that is h minus 2p. Then from here, this is h plus 2p. So when you add the two lengths, so we have h minus 2p plus h so add this is, so the length of this h minus 2p okay, yes. So if you're going to consider this two part, this one, the abscissa, so if you subtract h minus 2p So h minus 2p, h plus 2p. So when you uh, so this means class, this part here is 2p. This is also 2p. So this is just 2p. This is 2p. Okay. So this is negative because that's on the left side. This is positive. But when we talk about distance, we take only the positive value. So adding these two, so 2p. So the total distance, this distance plus this distance is equal to 4p. So the length of the latus rectum is equal to 4p. Alright, so I hope you've got that. And then let's summarize this one, class. This is the summary. This one. So for parabolas whose vertex is at point hk, so we have here the following equations. We have either this or this one. Y minus quantity y minus k squared equal to 4p times quantity x minus h. So remember, for parabola whose vertex is at point coordinates hk, so these are the two possible equation, class, that we can get. So here, if y is being squared, when you expand this one, y is being squared, so the parabola opens either to the right or left. For this one, the parabola opens either up or down. So here the vertex is hk. In this question, the same vertex hk also. But the focus here is quantity h plus p. Okay, this is the abscissa and this is the ordinate. K is the ordinate. And for the other equation, h is the abscissa and the ordinate is k plus p. Now the ends of the latus rectum for the equation of the parabola which opens either right or left. So the ends of the latus rectum, on the left side we have h plus p for the abscissa, and the ordinate is either k plus 2p or k minus 2p. Depends on which what's the opening. That depends on the value of p. Positive ba si p or negative ba si p? Okay, so that depends. And for the other equation, we have h plus and minus 2p for the ordinate, and for the abscissa, and then for the ordinate we have k plus p. And for the directrix, when the directrix is parallel to the y-axis, so we have here h minus p. And if the directrix is parallel to the x-axis, we have y equal to k minus p. Now for the axis of symmetry, for the first equation, we have y equal to k. And the other one is x equal to h. So again, this slide is a very important slide. This summarizes everything, class. For a parabola whose vertex is at the point with coordinates h and k, this is a very important information that you need to be familiarized with, or if you can memorize it, that's the best. Okay, so far we have discussed the basic concept of a parabola. It's a little bit long, class, because I explained this in details in order for you to understand it. So next we move to solving a simple problem here. to apply what we have learned from the concept of parabola. So first problem, determine the focus, directrix, and the length of the latus rectum. So we need to find the focus, directrix, and length of latus rectum, or LR, of the parabola given in this equation. Employ this to assist in graphing the parabola. Okay, so if you have noticed, class, the given equation, there's no component for h and there's no component for k. So we can say that the vertex is at 0, 0, at the origin. The vertex of the parabola is at the origin. So from the general form, the equation is, this is the one that we have derived. So when h is equal to 0 and k is equal to 0, you just substitute it here. So x minus 0 squared equal to 4 times p times y minus 0. So the equation becomes x squared equal to 4py. This one, as you can see here. So the equation becomes like that. So what is the focus? If this is the vertex 0, 0, and what is the length of the latus rectum? So this is how to find them, class. So if you look at the given, so we have, this is our x, this is our y, and vertex is here. This is our v, 0, 0. Where do you think is the focus? Where do you think is the parabola opens to? So if you look at here, so we have the coefficient of y, the coefficient of y, which is equal to 4p. So you see 4p is equal to negative 12. So solving for p, so divide for both sides. So 4 divided by 4, then we have minus 3. So remember, what is p? P is the distance from the vertex to the focus. Okay, so if that is minus 3, then this is negative. So where do you think the parabola opens? So remember, when x is being squared, what is the opening of the parabola? It's either down or up. So it depends on the sign of the coefficient of y on the right side. So since this is negative, then the parabola should be open down. So this is 3, negative 3. So 1, 2, 3. So the focus is here. So what's the coordinates of focus? The coordinates of focus for x, the abscissa is also 0, and ordinate is minus 3. Okay, I will show you so that we can finish this quickly. I'll show you the solution here. So the same thing, no? We solve p equal to 3, and then after that, so vertex equal to this one, then the focus is, ang formula sa focus, class, is this one. Remember? H, then k plus p. So our h is 0, our k plus p is equal to minus 3. Okay, this is the one. So we have, we got the focus already. We have to solve for the directrix. What is the formula of the directrix? Or first we need to plot or find the length of the latus rectum. So the latus rectum, the formula of the latus rectum, h plus 2p for the abscissa, k plus p for the ordinate. So h is 0, p is minus 3, times 2, so minus 6. So the coordinates therefore of the ends of the latus rectum is -6 and -3 for one, but there are two of them. The other one is h minus 2p, right? H minus 2p, because we have two ends of the latus rectum. So the other end is, remember we have in our derivation a while ago, h plus and minus 2p. Remember this? So it represents two values. One is the taking positive, so h plus 2p. Then taking negative, h minus 2p. So this is the one. Alright, so okay, I'll just erase this and I'll show you the illustration later. So this is how we solve for the focus, vertex, length of the latus rectum. We don't have the directrix yet. So what is the formula of the directrix? So the formula of the directrix simply y equal to k minus p. Then our y is equal to 3. Y is equal to 3. So directrix y. So if x is being squared up and down, so our directrix is parallel to x-axis. So if the parabola is something like this, so our directrix is here. Okay? So this is, the vertex is 0, 0. The focus is here, which is 0, -3. So this is the directrix. Okay, so what is the length from the vertex to the directrix? That is p, right? But what is p? Our p is -3. -3 down, no, from the vertex. But directrix is, that is also p units from the vertex. But this is 0, 0, 0. So y is 0 here. So 3 units up. So that is +3. So our p here is +3. So this is our y. So y is equal to p equal to 3 is positive. So therefore, the directrix, if this is our y-axis, okay, this is our y-axis, this is our x-axis. So this is our directrix class, where this is 3 units above the vertex. This is the focus. Okay, this is the vertex. Okay, so that's the illustration for this problem. So axis of symmetry. So the axis of symmetry is equal to x equal to h, where our h is equal to 0. So where is it? X equal to h, where h is equal to 0. So therefore, x equal to 0. X equal to 0 class is the y-axis. Okay, so this is the axis of symmetry. Is it clear? Do you understand it? So this is our axis of symmetry. The y-axis class, x equal to 0, that is equivalent to y-axis. So it means y-axis. X equal to 0 means y-axis. Okay? So I hope you understand our discussion. Okay, so let me erase this one. So in solving this problem, class, just to guide us, and much better if you memorize this so that you can solve the problem quickly. So just keep this in your mind. This one. This is very important, class. So specifically for this equation, x minus quantity x minus h squared equal to 4 times p times y minus k. So these are the other information that you need to remember. Okay? So let's take this other this is the summary, class, of what we have done so far. So this is the illustration of the graph of the problem that we had. Okay, so after solving all this information, the focus, the vertex, the length of the latus rectum, so you label your parabola. So this is the focus, coordinates, you write the coordinates. This is the vertex, you write the coordinates. This is 0, 0. Okay, and then this is the latus rectum. Latus rectum is equal to, what is latus rectum? 4p. So 4p, we know our p, that is 3. So 4 LR, meaning the length of the latus rectum is 4p. So we solve p. 4 times the absolute value of p, which is equal to positive 3, equal to 12. So the length of the latus rectum, if you measure that one, that is 12 units. So we are asked here, length of the latus rectum. Okay, that is equal to 12. Any question? So I hope you understand this one, class. So let's move to another example. So graph the parabola given the equation y squared minus 6y minus 2x plus 8 equal to 0. So we are given a parabola in general form. Okay, so the solution, we have to transform this equation into the form y minus k squared. So you see here, the variable y is being squared of degree 2, x is of degree 1. So we have to use this standard form. So we transform this equation into this standard form. Okay, so this is the standard form that we have to use, class. So transform this equation into this form, since this equation is of degree 2 in y, no? Degree 2 in y, degree 1 in x. So we know this parabola opens either to the left or to the right, depends on the value of p greater than 0 or p less than 0. This is positive or this is negative. So it depends on these values. But at least we have already an idea that it's opening either left or right. So to solve this, we need to apply the process, class, which is what we call completing the square. It's just like what we did in our discussion of circle, about circle. So we also did there completing square. Okay, so we have to combine the terms that contains the variable that has exponent equal to 2 or degree 2. Then put this together with the variable that contains also y, and then the rest you transpose that to other side. Okay, so after that, find the third term. Find the third term. So we can write this as from here, or I just put it here, y squared minus 6y, then plus, we need to find the third term. Okay, yeah, we have the third term. Same process, class, as what we did in our discussion on circle. So once you get the third term, you add here on the right side. So third term also. Then you look at this formula, u squared, u minus v squared equal to u squared minus 2uv plus v squared. So we have here the middle term. Okay, so because we have to express this left side into this expression, class. So we have to find the third term. So how to find the third term? Meaning third term of the binomial expansion. Meaning we have to look for this. Okay, so we have the formula, the middle term equal to twice the product of the first and second term. So 2 u v. Okay, so we let our u here as y. So substituting our middle term here, as you can see, our middle term is 6y. So 6y equal to 2 times our u is y times v. Solving for v. So we have to solve for v. So divide both sides by 2y. So 2y v. So divide this by 2y. So 2y cancels. Y cancels. So 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. Okay, so 6 divided by 2 is 3 equal to v. So we got v. So we need v squared. The third term is v squared. So 3 squared equal to v squared, which is equal to 9. This is our third term. So adding the third term here. Okay, so the third term, we found out the third term equal to 9. So you add the third term here and also on the right side. So this is the resulting expression. Okay, so this is the third term. So we add it on the left side, do the same on the right side. So this is a perfect trinomial square, which we can write this as y minus 3. No? We can write that as y minus 3 squared equal to, when you combine 8 and 9, so negative 8 and 9 we combine, we have positive 1. And then, so you can see this is the left side is a perfect square. This is a perfect square. Then after that, okay, I will erase this class. Factor out, no? Factor out a 2 on the right side. So when you factor out 2 on the right side, so we have here 2 times. So you divide, GCF is 2. So divide this by 2, x divided by 2, 1 half. So we divide each term by the GCF, which is equal to 2. So compare this one to our standard form and identify what is h and what is k. So to avoid mistakes, class, write this in terms of minus at the middle. So you can write this as x minus 1 half. Okay, so same as, so that when you find what is h, because this is our h, so our h here is equal to minus 1 half, and our k is equal to positive 3. And what is p? So this is our, it is related to this one. So the formula is 4p. So 4p is equal to, the coefficient is 2. Okay, so divide by 4, so p is equal to 1 half. Alright, so that's how to solve this problem. So we got h minus 1 half, k is equal to 3. So p here is equal to 1 half as shown here. Alright. So again, so this is the continuation class. And we got here the guide now. We have this equation. We use this equation standard form because we have here the y, or degree 2 in y, degree 1 in x. So this is the information that we need. Now when you grab this one, so all you need are this information. So vertex. So what is the vertex? The vertex here is hk. Okay. And then what is the focus? The focus here is h plus p k. That's why we solved for p, class, because we need to use that when we find the focus. So h is h, which is negative 1 half, and p is positive 1 half. So negative 1 half plus 1 half, 0. Then k is equal to 3. So same as this. They're just the same. Okay, and then next, ends of the latus rectum. This is the formula, ends of the latus rectum, h plus p and k plus minus 2p. So h plus p, h is 1 half plus 1 half, that is also 0. then 2p, 2 times p. Our p is 1/2, but we still have k here. So 2 times p, 2 times 1/2 is 1 plus k. K is equal to 3. That is why we have 4. Alright, that is for this positive component, but we have negative also here. So for the negative one, so 2 times p is 1, then k is 3, so 3 minus 2, so sorry, 3 minus 1 equal to 2. So these are the coordinates of the ends of the latus rectum. Then directrix. What is directrix? What is the formula of directrix? Directrix is simply h minus p. So h, we got h, that is 0. P is, sorry, h is 1/2. Sorry, h is minus 1/2. P is 1/2. So minus 1/2 minus 1/2. So we got negative 1. So that's the directrix. And we know that P is positive. So therefore, the parabola opens to the right. So to the right, if y is being squared, so right or left. But since P is positive, then the parabola opens to the right. So axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry, here, axis symmetry y equal to k. So k is equal to 3. So that's the axis of symmetry. And then this is now the graph, resulting graph based on what we have calculated. Okay, so it's clear. Then another example here. Write the equation of parabola in standard form that satisfies the given condition, where given here the condition vertex at point coordinates 3 and 2 and focus at 3 and 4. Okay, so we have here the illustration. So this is the vertex 3, okay, 1 2 3, positive 2 1 2. So this is the vertex, and focus, you know, the focus is the distance. The distance is p. So how will you solve for p? So anyway, the focus is given 3 and 4 also. Sorry, 3 and 4. So 3 1 2 3. Then you count 4 up, 1 2 3 4. So you're given here the focus. So therefore, if this is 2 units, the distance from the vertex to the focus, so we can see that the directrix is this one. Now graphically we can see that immediately, but that's not the way to do it. Although you can do that, no, to save time. Okay, so the parabola is opening upward since the focus is above the vertex. So that's also a hint for us to find out where the opening of the parabola. So you see the vertex below the focus. So let's open upward. We have already an idea based on this scenario class that the focus is above the vertex. So we have an idea that the parabola opens upward. Okay? So if that is the case, opens upward, then we have to make use of this standard form. So this is the standard form of our parabola. Opens upward. So use this. So vertex, it's k. Alright, so this is the vertex, it's k. And then we have, so the distance between the vertex and the focus is equal to absolute value of p. So this is 2 units. This is also 2 units. So from the figure, the distance between V and F is 2. So the value of P is equal to 2 and should be positive since the parabola is opening upward. So P is equal to 2. Alright? Then from this standard form equation of the parabola, when you substitute the values of h and k into this formula, then we'll get this. So from here, we'll be able to solve for the standard form. So this is the standard form. And in this problem class, we are just asked to write the equation of the parabola in standard form. So that's it. So we're done. But alright, so how about this? Write the equation of the parabola in standard form that satisfy the given condition. Now the conditions are vertex at 0, 0, length of the latus rectum is 13, and the parabola is opening to the left. Okay, so this is our solution class. The parabola is opening to the left, which means we have to use the standard form. So you should know how to choose correctly, class. What formula that you need to use depends on the condition given, class. Opening to the left, so that gives you hint which of the two standard form that you have to use. Okay, so from this statement, class, opening to the left, it gives us the hint that this is the formula that we gonna use. So the vertex is at 0, 0, then length of the latus rectum, so we are given here the formula is, this is given, length of the latus rectum, LR, we're given equal to 13. So what is the latus rectum? Latus rectum is, this is just this one. This is our LR, latus rectum. But we take P as the absolute value. So latus rectum, length of the latus rectum, formula to class. You have to remember this. Now, length of the latus rectum is a formula equal to 4 times the absolute value of P, which is equal to 13. Okay, so that gives us an idea of how to find P. So solving for P, so P should be negative. Why? Because opening to the left. So the left, the word left there gives us an idea of what is our P. So absolute value of P, which is 13 over 4, but since it is described here that the parabola opens to the left, then we take P equal to minus 13 over 4. Okay, so substituting, using the formula, substitute the given initial information. So y minus k is equal to 0. This is h, k is equal to 0, equal to 4 times the latus rectum is negative 13 over 4, x times the quantity x minus h, where h is equal to 0 also. Okay, and then we get this result. So y minus 0 is y, then you square, then x minus 0 is x, then 4 times negative 13 over 4, so the positive 4 and negative, positive 4 and 4 at the denominator cancels, retaining negative 13. So y squared equal to minus 13x. So this is the standard form of the equation of the parabola as described in this problem. Okay, so that's it. Any question? And next problem. Write the equation of the parabola in general form. Okay, so a while ago we solved the problems writing the equation in standard form. This time we are asked to write the equation in general form that satisfies the given condition. The conditions here, we have vertex at coordinates 4 and 1, and x equal to 1 is the directrix. So what is x equal to 1, class? So if this is our x and this is our y-axis, this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So x equal to 1, this is our x equal to 1, class. So this is the directrix. Okay, so just to give you an idea, this is our directrix, class. This is the y-axis, This is x equal to 1. This line is x equal to 1. This line. Alright. So first we have to put the information in a graph of x and y, or in the Cartesian coordinates like this. So we're given the vertex. The vertex is 4 and coordinates 4, 1. So this is positive. All numbers are positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to the right, then 1 step up. So this is the vertex. Coordinates 4 and 1. And x equal to 1. So this is our x equal to 1. So that is the directrix. Okay. So we have an idea already that the parabola is opens to the right. It's not mentioned here, but since the directrix class is parallel to y-axis, that gives us hint that the parabola is opening to the right. To the right because the directrix is on the left of the vertex. If it happens that the directrix is at the right of the vertex, then the parabola opens to the left. It should be like this. Okay, so that gives us hint that the parabola opens to the right, although we are just given the vertex and also the directrix, the location of the directrix, then we can tell which of the two equations shall we use. So opening to the right, so we have to make use of this standard form. Okay, so next we have to write down what are the information. Vertex HK 4 on 1, and from there we can say that the distance between the vertex and the directrix is equal to the absolute value of P. Right? Remember in our previous slides? So it means that from here you count 1, 2, 3. So our P here is equal to 3. So that is how to find P. You just count from here 1, 2, 3. So P is equal to 3. Then the focus, that is also 3 units to the right. So the focus should be here. But anyway, we're just asked to write the general form of this equation. So knowing this information, so we can substitute this to our equation here, our standard form, and we get this in standard form, and then you just expand. So getting the standard form class, after you substitute P here, P equal to 3, substitute in this formula together with the coordinates of the vertex. Okay, then substitute it here, we got the standard form. After that, okay, on this part, so the resulting equation, after we substitute the values that we have calculated and also the one that we have given in a problem, so we get this expression or equation, y minus, or the quantity y minus 1 squared equal to 12 times the quantity x minus 4. So this is the standard form. Now to transform this into general form, so first we expand the left side using the formula u minus v squared equal to u squared minus, so this minus, so this is also minus, twice the product of u and v, the product of first and second term, then plus square of the second term. So we have to expand it in this manner. Alright, and then the right side we have to distribute and multiply. So 12x, and this becomes minus 48, and this is now the expansion. And to transform this equation into general form, we have to make the right side, this side of the equation, equal to 0 by transposing this term and this term to the left side. And we get this. Okay, the right side now is equal to 0. And then on the left side, we have to combine similar terms. So we have here the constant, positive 1 and positive 48, so we can combine them. And after combining them, we have this result. So this is now the resulting general form. From the standard form, we transform this into general form. And we can identify that by looking at the right side. If the right side of the equation is equal to 0, so it means that the resulting equation is now in general form. Okay, so that's it for this part. How about this? Write the equation of the parabola in standard form that satisfies the given condition. So we're given here the vertex, coordinates 3 and -4. Axis of symmetry is horizontal, passes through 2, -5. Okay, this is the solution, class. So plot the vertex. Vertex is coordinates 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, then -4 goes down 1, 2, 3, 4. So the vertex is here. Axis of symmetry is horizontal, passes through 2, 5. So where is 2, -5? So where is it? Oh, 2, 5. Where is 2, 5? 2. So we have 1, 2. Then -5. So you go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So somewhere here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think this line is should be here. Okay, so passes through. So this is not the right one. So horizontal. So that was just an initial estimate. So our axis of symmetry is horizontal, passes through this point, coordinates 2, 5. So this is coordinates 2, 5. So this is the correct axis of symmetry. So this is the vertex. If there's a vertex, class, so where do you think is the parabola opening? Okay, so this is the concept, class. The axis of symmetry, EOS, class, means axis of symmetry is horizontal, which means that the parabola is either opening to the right or left. Okay, opening to the right or left. And this is the vertex. So where do you think? It can be something like this, right? Or it can be something like this. Sorry. This is the vertex, class. So it should not be like that. Passes to, so where is the right position? Or where is the right opening of the parabola? So it's mentioned here that either opening to the right or to the left. So if this is the vertex and this is, so as if there's a vertex, it could be something like this, or it can be, so it cannot be this one, right? Otherwise it will not hit this one. So it should be this one. Axis of symmetry. So the parabola passes through 2, 5. Okay, so parabola passes through 5. Okay, so this is the correct position of the axis of symmetry. So the axis of symmetry passes through this. So be careful, huh? You might misread the problem like what I just did. So the axis of symmetry is horizontal, which means that the parabola either opens to the right or left, then the parabola passes through. So parabola passes through, not the axis of symmetry, but the parabola passes through this point. Okay, so if you think that the parabola is opens to the right, it won't pass here. This is the vertex. Axis of symmetry is here, so it should be this one. And so that is the parabola. So we have found that the parabola opens to the left or right. So what is the um, standard form that we will use? So this one opens right or left. Y is the one that is being squared, or y is of degree 2. Left or right is the opening. Remember that concept, class. Okay, so we get this graph here. So the vertex, write down the vertex and then write down the given points that is passed by the parabola. So given point xy to -5, this one, that is the point where the parabola passes to. Then we have to make use of this formula, and then you just substitute the points or the coordinates of the points where the parabola passes to, and then substitute into this standard form of the equation of parabola. Then from here we can solve for the value of p. Okay, so we have this one, the result of this, when you perform this square and you add, do the arithmetic here, we get 1 equal to, difference of this is -1 times 4p, so -4p. So get p equal to -1/4. Okay, so we got p already, and after that we have to substitute it to the standard form of the equation of the parabola. And then so after substituting, so we have here minus minus, this becomes plus, new square. So 4 times this one cancels. We have at the numerator 4, denominator is 4 also, that cancels. So we're remaining -1, -1 times x minus 3. So we got this. So this is now the standard form. Okay, so I think that's all for this lecture. And to learn more about this topic parabola, class, there is references that you can look into. And then there are a lot of applications, class, but I don't have more time to discuss that. But if you have more time to study the applications, so we have here um, different applications of parabola. We have what we call paraboloid revolution. It looks like this. Okay, so this is the concept. You can find the details here in this link. And in real life scenario, this is parabola is used in satellite dish antenna. So this is the kind of antenna that we were using when I was working in a telecommunication company in Thailand. So we have this a very huge antenna, class. We have 18 meters, we have 21 meters the diameter. And another one, the small ones like this, parabolic reflector for a solar socket. Okay, so all the energy, light energy will go uh, whichever direction it will always go to the focus. So when it hits in this direction, then it will bounce go to the focus. So everything, all of them will be uh, accumulated or sum up into the focus, all the signals. So this is an example of parabolic reflector used in a solar cooker. So another application is something like this. So you see here, all the signals, small signals, when they are accumulated becomes big. So all the signal hit here goes to the focus. Signal hit here goes to the focus. Everything will go to the focus. So all those small signals, but when they are accumulated, add up, it becomes bigger. Another application is this one, parabolic cable for the bridge, and also in the building structure, parabolic arc are used. And here again, the parabolic dish. And there are some problems, class, that we can calculate, but we don't have a luxury of time to do it here. Perhaps in the future I will use, or I will do another recording solution to this problem. Okay, for today, that's all. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, everyone, and hope to see you again in our next video.